And folks, joining us now to discuss this evolving situation, this rapidly evolving situation, is George Simion. He's a member of the Romanian Parliament. He serves as president of the Alliance of the Union of Romanians, the fourth largest political party in Romania. He's also the executive vice president of the European Conservatives and Reformists. It's a group in Europe dedicated to individual liberty, national sovereignty, parliamentary democracy, private property, limited government, free trade, family values, and the devolution of power. George, it's a wonderful pleasure to have you on the program. I know things are evolving rapidly. We understand the president was detained, or the one who won the presidential election was detained today, and more people are being arrested as we speak. You're calling this on Twitter a Bolshevik terrorist maneuver. Talk to us about what's happening on the ground in Romania.
Yeah, so for everybody who doesn't know me, I'm George Simion. I'm the president of the second largest political party in Romania, AUR. We are the main important conservative party here. So in December we had presidential elections. An independent Călin Georgescu, sovereignist, would have won, but they stopped the second round of elections. Constitutional court formed of politicians, not of judicial guys, not of judges. So today, Mr. Georgescu, the independent candidate who won the elections in December, was coming towards our headquarters of AUR, and he was stopped on the way by prosecutors and policemen, and they took him and escorted him to the general prosecutor's office. And they kept him for like 8 hours. It was early morning in Washington, D.C. When this happened. So we were surprised. He has judiciary control now. He's not allowed to speak on social networks or to appear at television. Sorry, I have a small infant here. I have
No problem.
Small baby boy. I just came home and I'm getting back to our headquarters. We are in an ongoing coup d'etat since 6 December. The globalists don't want to give up power, even if the people, the Romanian people, do not support them anymore. So now we are trying to get free elections, but the police state and the deep state, like you call it and like we have it, is trying to eliminate Mr. Georgescu from the race, and is trying to stop him and stopping us to make his candidacy public and to have the files ready. We need 200,000 signatures of support for him in order for him to be a candidate. So 200,000 Romanians should sign to support him. We already have the signatures, and we want to have his candidacy already deposited for the 4th and 18th May elections, presidential repeated elections. Hopefully we'll go through with this. Hopefully we'll manage to end this dictatorship and end the coup d'etat that is going on in Romania.
George, I want to ask you, according to the news reports in the United States, from what we're seeing, the presidential candidate, Georgescu, he's being accused of being a Russian operative. He's being accused of being involved in a fascistic organization. What do we make of these charges? Are these made up to try to stop his ascendance to the presidency?
Of course, first when this happened, it was 1 p.m. in Romania, in Bucharest, and I contacted my European friends who are on the same time hour as us, and they said in the globalist media they are presenting this as some bodyguard of him found with 10 million euros and a ticket to Moscow. This is all fake news. No relations with that guy and with Mr. Georgescu. They are trying to forge some, to invent some so-called proofs. For 3 months since they annulled the elections, they didn't present any proofs that he has any ties with Russia or any other country. They just don't like the guy. He's not one of them. This is why he is rejected by the system. And we are trying to support him. We are the only ones with the Romanian people and the only ones who support him and try to have fair elections, to have free elections, and to get back to democracy and to respect our constitution.
Thank you for that explanation, George. Now, we're hearing that in Brussels there's a lot of support for these efforts to interfere in the election, to take down this candidate. But of course, the United States government, we had J.D. Vance recently in Europe very strongly condemning the canceling of the election. What are you hearing from sources in Washington, D.C., in Europe? Is there going to be more international involvement here? Is this something that the Romanians are going to have to fix themselves?
Sounds like we are on our own because in Europe, Ursula von der Leyen and the globalists still control almost every tool we have, or every institution at European level. The only thing that gave us power was the speech in Munich of J.D. Vance, of the Vice President of the United States. We want to remain a faithful partner to the US and to the Trump administration. So we are gathering support. We'll have a march of 1 million people in Bucharest this Saturday. Some MEPs, members of the European Parliament, will come to Bucharest, and from Poland, from Italy, from the Czech Republic, and they will support us. But we don't have a majority inside the European institutions, so it will be hard. But we are fighting. Fight, fight, fight. This is what we will do. We need your support. We need the United States behind us because the globalists that are in power don't want to give up democratically and don't want to democratic transition of power.
So, George, who is it that's doing this? You mentioned the deep state. Are there particular individuals, movements, organizations? Obviously, there's people in the government. Were any of these affiliated with the previous?
The current prime minister, the former president who was sacked by us, who just resigned last week. Things are ongoing. We are the main opposition party, so we are making efforts in order to stop them. We are really fighting. We have the judicial system controlled by Soros forces. We have the secret services. So we have a police state that is stopping us, but we will continue.
And why do you think they hate Georgescu so much and his supporters? Why this obsession with stopping him? What is it that, I mean, they say in the media that they're worried that he's going to be friendly with Putin, that he's going to be too closely allied with Russia. Why do you think that? Because I've heard him say himself that he is not a supporter of Putin, he's not a supporter of Russia, although he doesn't want war. Why do you think they hate him so much?
Because he doesn't answer to their orders. Because he will have the same agenda as the Trump administration, because he wants peace, because he doesn't want to support the Ukrainian war, because he doesn't want to support Schwab's agenda, 2030 agenda, and because he is not a globalist. He's a sovereignist.
Wow. And so what's the path forward, George? I mean, what do you see as the ideal resolution to this situation, and what are some of the different ways it could go? I know we only have you for another minute or two, but where does this go from here?
Yeah, I'm looking at the messages that's constantly coming. People are arrested here, so it's crazy. We must gather international support. We must put pressure, internal and external pressure. Friday, we put in the Romanian parliament a motion of non-confidence, a motion of censure towards the socialist government that is currently ruling and is clinging into power. We will have a demonstration, a big mass rally Saturday in Bucharest. So hopefully we will manage to stop them by this pressure and by calling towards free election and towards democracy.
Very good. And Georgia, what's the best way to get updates on this situation from you? I know you're on X. You've been posting there a lot.
Yeah,
it's George Simion.
I'm very popular, and I make the most posts on TikTok and Facebook. I'm the most popular politician in Romania. But yes, for the international audience, I'm posting on X, George Simion. is the name. Look me up, and I will post updates as they come.
Very good. George, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you
Thank you
for
for your
standing firm here,
invitation.
and I hope we'll get updates. Absolutely. Thank you
Keep
so
in
much.
touch. Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty, folks, that was George Simion, member of the parliament in Romania, leader of one of the biggest political parties in that country, also the executive vice president of one of the major alliances of political parties across Europe at the European level, with a brief update there on the situation in Romania. Obviously, the situation is very fluid. There are updates coming out every moment, so by the time you see this, I'm sure there will have been more. But folks, this is hugely significant. We're seeing obvious parallels with what happened with Donald Trump, with what happened with Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil, and we're seeing this around the world, where globalist deep state forces cannot tolerate patriotic, pro-family, pro-God political leaders and political parties coming into power. This is truly incredible. I hope you will stay informed. You can follow us at thenewamerican.com. You can follow us on X at New American Mag. And, of course, follow George Simion either on X. You can find him at George Simion, or you can find him on Facebook or TikTok. He's posting updates regularly. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you'll share this broadcast out with others. We hope you'll get it to your lawmakers, members of your community. Because, folks, what's happening in Romania now is the tip of the iceberg, and it's also part of a global phenomenon. The deep state is international in scope. This is a global problem. This is not something that is isolated to Romania. Of course, we don't want U.S. government foreign interventionism in violation of the Constitution, but we as Americans should be aware. We should be involved. We know that there are very powerful people in this country who are involved. George mentioned George Soros, who's been a major player in meddling in Eastern Europe, whether it's Hungary, whether it's the Czech Republic, whether it's Romania. And so we have deep state forces in the United States now messing up other people's countries, overturning democratic elections. Totally unacceptable. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Alex Newman. This is Behind the Deep State for the New American Magazine. Until next time, God bless you all.